From zero?
Yeah.
Like from nothing? Oh, wait, your first.
This is a momentum occasion. We all know it. Linkin Park knows it. Let's dive in. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday, and welcome back to Silent Echoes. Today, Friday the 15th, the new Linkin Park album has dropped, From Zero. I haven't heard it yet. I'm really excited, and I'm going to listen to the whole thing from start to finish, give an unfiltered reaction, and see how it goes. We have a total of 11 tracks. Nice and concise. That's a good move in my opinion, keeping it nice and concise. But let's see how it goes. Okay. Track number 1 is called, first track is called From Zero, the album's name, and intro. It's a really short track, and I love that it has an intro because this is a momentum occasion. We all know it. Linkin Park knows it, so they're giving us an intro. Let's dive in.
From zero?
Yeah.
Like from nothing? Oh, wait, your first.
Okay, so that's hilarious. That's the intro. It starts this epic choral thing. It's like, all right, this is a momentous thing. You really get into this Hollywoodish choral dramatic thing happening. And then you have these voices come in. I think it's Emily and Mike. Zero, like from nothing. And we all know the backstory of why this album is called what it is. All right, that's funny. It subverts your expectations. Track number 2 is The Emptiness Machine. So I know this one, of course. I haven't reacted to it yet, and I'm going to just listen to it in the context after this intro.
I let you cut me open just to watch me bleed.
Classic Linkin Park subversion. The first chorus doesn't explode, it goes quiet.
Don't know why I'm hoping,
The drums drop off.
I won't receive. Falling for the promise of
But it's going to come back to us. Introducing Emily. I only wanted to be part. And short. Clocks in at 3:20. Wow, obviously, I've heard this song before. This was the first single out of the album. And the more I hear it, the more I love it. This is probably the best song. And I haven't heard the album yet, but it's an excellent, excellent song. It's an excellent introduction of Emily. It's an excellent reveal, and it just gives us everything we loved about Linkin Park, but with a twist. So there's a delay. We start with Mike is singing the first verse and the first chorus. And on the first chorus, we have this classic Linkin Park thing where you expect the intensity to go up, of course, here, and it goes down. The drums drop off, and it sounds quieter, even though the melody is hookier because it is a chorus after all. So we have drums during the first verse, and now we put this transitioning, leaves you hanging, right? It's nice. I mean, it is a song about pain, right? In other words, me cut you open just to see you bleed, and the Emptiness Machine metaphors are on the nose, but it's all there. So introduce this new voice, this new color into their sonic soundscape in the form of Emily. She gets to her chorus. Now we get the full intensity, right? The drums, everything is out, and we get to feel their full powerhouseness.
I only wanted to be part of something. I only
wanted to be part of something. That desire to be in a band, I think, right? Mike had a long solo career, and he wanted to be part of something bigger, and now he's getting a chance to do it. This is a momentous song and a momentous video, and it's going to go down in history as the reintroduction. And I think it was very wisely chosen as the first single. Next up, this is the first full song I haven't heard yet. It's called Cut the Bridge, track number 3. Also, look how concise all these songs are. This is Beatles distilled. Nothing here cracks the 4 minutes. This next one here, I think, is the longest song on the album with 3:49. That's a real restraint from a rock band to keep the song so short and to the point. Cut the Bridge, without further ado. Is that a video? That looks like that. Hold on, let me just hear that intro again, because it's so lo-fi. And those raw drums. So this is a pre-chorus. This is interesting. That's the chorus.
I'm a tightrope held up by a clothespin, holding out, but the pressure keeps growing. Just to watch it burn. Just to watch it burn.
Ooh. Woo! Yeah. Woo! Wow. Okay, this is completely new to me. It's the most complex, I think, song I've heard so far. It's got a lot of parts to it. I love a lot of it. And the way they work together is a little bit harder of a sell. There's a lot of different parts. Let's hear again. I love the intro. This lo-fi compressed, I forget the name of the sound, like a high-pass filter. Introducing this very simple chord progression. Bare bone drums. Okay. Turning the same, whatever, 4 on the 4 chord progression. And then the rapping I love. I'm just a sucker for the rapping.
Every time you start, it's like the 4th day of July. Acting like the truth in your opinion or identical, and I can't seem to let it go.
So this is what threw me off. I actually really, really like this, but I thought this is okay, the normal Linkin Park thing where you're dropping off the drums and making it slow in the chorus, but this is not a chorus, this is a pre-chorus. And I think we're going to minor tonality here where the verse was mostly major. This has a very minor tonality to it. It's nice and soft. The melody here is quite interesting in this pre-chorus. And so this is the chorus now, and that's my least favorite part of the song. I don't find the melody hook to be that memorable, and I don't like the rapping interrupting the singing. It feels forced here for some reason. I don't know why. But this is another part here. So this is what's confusing to me. I don't know what to call this. It wouldn't be a bridge. It's just into the last part of the chorus. And this part is better. I just don't like the interruption. The melody here is more powerful. That's great. Okay, so that's the verse. The verse is a rap. And repeat again, I guess. Okay, so the same pattern. It's kind of a climax, right? You have the vocal harmonies. Hear that? That's emotional. Vocal harmonies just do it to you, you know? Ooh, and she goes up even higher here. That's super satisfying. Yeah, so look, this is excellent. This is by no means fluffs. This is by no means fillers. This is a really good song with a lot of elements. It's more ambitious than some of the singles, which is probably to its detriment. I think the chorus is just not as strong as some of the other parts. It's a solid 7, though, at least. Let's see what's next. Next up is Heavy is the Crown. I've done a full reaction video to that, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I do want to hear it in the context here again. Just see how it flows in, and how do I feel about it after a few weeks. Okay, no video here to distract me.
swinging so low.
The rap is super snappy here.
Hold it inside and hope it won't show. I'm saying it's not, but inside I know.
The rap is definitely better than Cut the Bridge.
This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd. Fire in the sunrise. Ashes raining down.
No delay here, huh? This is the first time you break into the chorus. I just noticed they don't do that normal tease.
This is what you
You have this little transition here. This part.
begins, aiming so high but swinging so low, trying to catch fire but feeling so cold. Hold it inside and hope it won't show. I'm saying it's not, but inside I know.
So you get, this is a break, but it's only 2 bars or something, and straight in.
This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd. Fire
This is an excellent chorus.
ashes raining down.
The chorus, the melody, the message, the words are like, you can really hear them. It's a great. And I love this sample. Very basic song structure. Verse, chorus, break. This little transition. I'm not going to call it a bridge because it's too small. And now instrumental break. Yeah, wow. I talked before about the release order of the singles, and this is just brilliantly paced as the second single. It is not as different or original as the Emptiness Machine. What it shows here is the question that this song answers is, does Linkin Park still have it? And the answer is F yeah, like big time. Can Mike still rap really nimbly and fast? Yes. And of course, the scream, can she hold her own? She's not Chester, but that scream in the instrumental break is epic and mind-blowing. So it answers all of our questions like, oh, is Linkin Park still Linkin Park? Yeah. Can they still do what they used to do? Yeah. It's a great song. Okay, and this leads straight into Over Each Other, which I've also done a reaction video on. And I feel like, knowing that it is a slower song, I think this is I love that it's placed right after Heavy is the Crown, because the intensity of the end of Heavy is the Crown, if you listen to it as an album in the order, you need a little breather here. And so this is the perfect place for a ballad. Track number 5. Really 4, because the intro is not a full track. Over Each Other. Let's hear it again. It's got kind of a Euro, reminds me like rock set in the 90s or something. The vocal. Her vocal delivery here is so different than in the screaming stuff, and it's a little poppy, but the truth is, so is Chester. Like when he was singing softly, he almost sounded like a boy band singer, but it's emotive, and the different tonalities and emotional qualities you can get out of her voice is great. This is a different kind of story, and it serves it really well.
But you won't let me breathe, and I'm not ever right. All we are is talking over each other.
This beat, I talked about it in my reaction, pa 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 pa, like knocking on the door, and you can't go through it. It shows frustration, right? It hints at the release you're about to get, but you never get that release. And this is what it's about. This is, I really like this musically. It's, yeah. Ta 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 ta. So.
There's nothing underneath. It's all a waste of time. All we are is talking.
The drums have a nice swing here. Okay, you pick up the beat. It's still Linkin Park, but I can see this being a kissing song in a high school dance for like goth, misunderstood kids. Over each other.
I'm so tired of talking.
Wow, that transition. She goes from her voice cracking so soft and into this I'm so tired of talking. That is hard to do.
I lie
Hear that
awake
crack?
at night. I'm so tired of talking over each other.
I talked about this song a lot. I love it. I think probably a lot of diehard Linkin Park fans are not going to be crazy about this or are not crazy about this, but I'm not one of them. I'm very open. This features Emily front and center with some help from Linkin Park, but it's definitely a new direction. And people who are not willing to roll with the times and go towards new directions, well, they're not going to like it. But I talked about the release order. This was the third single released, and they really primed us for this by the first two singles. So the first single was a slow introduction, sounds like Linkin Park, and just introducing Emily slower. And she's not really stretching her muscles that much. Mike is doing some of the singing. So it's okay. It works, but Emptiness Machine could probably work with a different vocalist, and that's okay. And then you get Heavy as the Crown, which is just such a display of prowess. Emily screams. I mean, everything. She's definitely up to the task. That gives us the answer to whether or not she can do it. I feel like Heavy as the Crown, it's her earning her place in the band, right? And then Over Each Other now is, okay, this is who we are now. This is who we are now. But we've gotten used to it enough by the first two singles to accept it and be ready for it. And I really like this song. Though if I just heard it without knowing anything, I wouldn't necessarily know that this was a Linkin Park song. But people have to move on. People have to advance. And I dig it. Now we're in brand new territory. All the rest of the album is 6 tracks that are completely new. 2 minutes, 21 seconds. Casualty. Casualty. Let's go.
Set me free. I know all the secrets you keep. I won't be your casualty. I won't be your casualty. I know all the secrets you keep. I won't be your casualty.
Wow. There's a face melter for you. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely the most metal song so far in the album. It is just a tight new metal, short, punch you in the face track. It's sweet.
I won't be your casualty. I got too complacent, bleached in the eyes.
This part is the only part that I'm not sure fully works. Mike is screaming, singing, and it's not bad, but he can't really pull off, I think, this angry scream. Not as well as some other vocalists. I just don't buy it that much. She can. But when they're mixed, it's okay. It's a minor quibble. But then at the end, I think they do blend better together. Yeah, here it works. Here it works. When they're overlapping each other is when it works. When her vocals serve as a rug under his vocals, then it works. When they're separated, it doesn't work for me. It reminds me of one of these super short videos that they used to play on Beavis and Butthead for, if any of you guys remember the original one in the 90s, these like super hard tracks that would be playing on Beavis and Butthead. just like super short and screamy, and they end and wither. Yeah. Okay. Next up, we have a little ditty called Overflow. Overflow. Love this heavy sampling. Ooh. I miss those piano riffs of... Okay. Spacey. Visualization is also pretty sweet.
Catching fire, fighting fire. I can feel the pressure coming.
Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Overflow is what it's called. Wow. Yeah. I love it. This is possibly my favorite track now. I don't know. It's definitely not a single. It doesn't have the single catchiness. It's the most modern sounding track I've heard so far. It doesn't feel like it's dipping into any kind of nostalgia. Yeah. It's a lot more contemporary. Yeah. And a lot. So it starts from the rapping style. The rapping style, I wish I knew more about hip hop, but like the rapping style here in the beginning sounds like, a lot more like rappers sound like today than 20 or 30 years ago. This kind of lethargic, it's very, very sample heavy. It's a very processed song. I really like it. And yeah, I mentioned those piano riffs before. I wish they came back a little more. Maybe they do. Let me listen to it again. Because at the heart of it, you have this really catchy hook. Boom. This Mike 4 or 5 note hook.
We're all just up for a riot.
Yeah, you hear that?
Catching fire, fighting
The beat here.
I can feel the pressure.
It's not just the delivery, it's the beat. It's kind of like dubby beat. It's kind of pre-chorus. It's very melancholy.
Turning from a white sky to a black hole, turning from the sun.
I love how sparse the production is during this part.
I know I can't make it stop. I know I'm out of control. I keep on feeling.
The video is really beautiful also.
It
Both the song and the video are just telling this beautiful story.
Looking up, the sky is falling.
I really like it.
I can hear the future calling. We're going down. Turning from the white sky to a black.
Here you have the classic. It's not as identifiable, but this is the chorus again. And so you have the first one was without drums, the second one is with drums. But because the drums are so not Linkin Park, they're this kind of dragging sounding. It's not as obvious here. This instrumental break, a really simple solo. It just doesn't have a climax, this song, so much. It's not shaped like a peak, which is why it's not single material. Its structure is mellower, but this is 3.5 minutes long. I could listen to some of these parts, like I could see this being a long, trippy, drowsy kind of song. It can be double as long. Really interesting. I really like this one. Very different. Okay, next up we have track number 8, Two-Faced. Now this came out as a single a couple of days ago. It's one of these new trends, it seems. It seems like a lot of bands are now releasing a last single from the album, like just a day or two before the album is dropped, like a final boost for the hype. So I heard this before. I didn't give it a very deep listen, and let's just hear it with headphones, not on the phone with the kids around. Let's see what this is all about. Two-Faced. It's coming out of Overflow, which was a heavy track. This sounds like they're sampling themselves. Or it's similar to Heavy as the Crown. The sample. She's got this Reservoir Dogs. They all have this Reservoir Dogs thing going for the video. And this is shot on their live stage, I believe.
Last time I was hanging by a thread. Caught in the middle, too late, counting to zero. Counting to zero. You should have recognized it's too late for choosing.
They're just goofing. This is a diss song, I think. It's a diss against an ex, something like that.
You told me it wasn't true and pointing every finger with things that you didn't do. So that's why I kept missing the clues and never realized that the one that did it was you. The truth's not
Mr.
rigid,
Han.
the rules aren't fair. The dark's too vivid, the light's not there. I start to give in, but I can't bear to put it all behind. I run into it blind like
Snappy.
caught in the middle, too late, counting to zero. Counting to zero. You should have
Counting to Zero. There's a little wink at the album name, the band's origin. That reminds me of Rage Against the Machine. I won't do what you told. Killing in the name of.
Hear myself think. Stop yelling at me! I can't hear myself think. Stop yelling at me! Stop yelling at me!
Gotta love the scratching.
We're on the same page right now.
That's a callback to the intro. The talk-in. This is just sweet. This is just really sweet. It's more lighthearted. Really well placed after Overflow, which was heavy, heavy, heavy. This is lighthearted. It is punchy. It's heavy on Mr. Han and the scratching. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but the hook is there. Two-Face stuck in the middle. I mean, how singable is that? You're just gonna bob your head. You're just gonna dance around. This is gonna be a favorite in shows. I can already see it. I get why it's a single. I don't think it's as good as the first Emptiness Machine or Heavy as the Crown is more similar to it. It's not quite as good as that, but it's excellent. This is quality production, quality songwriting, quality performing, and just fun. Fun, fun, fun. Okay. Next up we got something, a little ditty called Stained. I like the thumbnail. Looks like a ink drawing on papyrus or something. Here we go. Track number 9, Stained. Ah, makes sense. Stained. Ink stains. It's like the Gnarls Barkley video. Crazy.
Yeah. You try to hide the mark, but it won't fade. You
I like this.
like I was nothing.
This is probably a pre-chorus.
But I don't wash away, and now you're staying.
Or is that the chorus?
Now you're staying. Sweat in your hands while the time starts ticking.
No, that was the chorus, I think.
Tripping on words, alibi starts slipping.
Oh, I love how she's echoing his lines. Catchy. This part, especially here, reminds me like Beyonce or something. It just
When you're hiding when no one else sees.
This is nice. It's really quiet, but she's training her voice. That contrast is super nice.
Your hands will be too
Listen.
red to hide the blame.
She's actually screaming
You
just far away from the mic. Very nice. Very nice. Different again. Very different flavor. This more poppy. This talked about more contemporary. It doesn't reach, again, a big climax necessarily. You can see it as they're probably going to use it in like TV shows. It's like a closing. I feel like it would fit well over ending shot for an episode of a dramatic TV series. You know, where the girl she's driving away and he's left alone on the curb and stay. And that's going to kind of feel emotionally. It's good. I also like the mix here. Before, what was the song where I didn't feel like it? Casualty, it's where I felt that Mike and Emily weren't blending their vocals so well together because he was training too much. But here, the blending is just really nice. This like on repeat thing. But this part. I'm very Linkin Park. This is really Linkin Park. I can imagine Chester just coming back in there. But it's different. It sure ain't Chester. This is nice. This is a very different flavor. I quite enjoy this. Stained. Okay, so we're at the penultimate track, track number 10. And it's called, I have no idea how to pronounce this, IGYEIH. Yay? No clue how to pronounce that. Coming out of the vibe, the Stained vibe. Let's see how we're rolling into IGYEIH. Maybe I'll learn how to pronounce this while we listen to the video. IGYEIH. Here we go.
So the question.
Melodies are starting to repeat here. It sounds like let me get the older. It has a little, yeah, sounds a little bit like the Emptiness Machine melody-wise.
When this happens again, and the clock keeps ticking, rules are written. From now on, I don't need you.
I like that sloppiness at the end. That's very Nirvana. It almost she's slurring her words. I gotta. That's what it means. It's an acronym. I give you everything I have. That's what it stands for. I give you everything I have. Okay. I don't know. It might be fatigue on my part. Ear fatigue. Overall, not so crazy about this. This is the first track that seems a little bit throwaway-ish. It might be just ear fatigue, but it sounds like Linkin Park. It's nice, but I was like, wasn't all that moved by it. Like I said, the melody was starting to sound a little derivative to me from the Emptiness Machine. I did like the ending. That's Kurt Cobain thing, and it's definitely a very Linkin Park-ish sounding track. This is not something all that new. Cool. Okay, folks, we're down to the last track, track 11, Good Things Go. Good Things Go. I often really like final tracks of albums. It's very important to me what taste you're being left with, so I'm excited. Good Things Go. I like the title. Melancholy. In general, I like melancholy things.
Feels like it's raining in my head for 100 days.
Definitely feels like a conclusion.
And I say I hate you when I don't leave with myself when I have to apologize.
The verse is lovely. Mike sounds really good. Slow Eminem. They sound great together. The verse is a little more conventional. It's okay. This chorus, it's okay.
Sometimes bad things take the place where good things go. No, I'm just taking a shot. Maybe I'm just too eager. Oh, maybe I lost the plot.
Love this.
Pity some people. I said they were missing a spine. Yeah, maybe the problem is ego.
This is the best rapping on the album, in my opinion.
Too curious, it's just feeling like it's not that serious. Stare at the ceiling, feeling delirious. Fuck all your empathy. I want you. Bad things take the place where good things go.
It's definitely a closer. Lovely, lovely. Really like this. Really strong closer. The verses are beautiful. It feels like the end of a journey, like an album should, the end of a feature film. The chorus was less memorable. I almost wished it wasn't the chorus of a song like this. It really lands you at the end of this journey. It's a smooth landing, and it's a great song. The last songs of the albums are never songs you're gonna rock out to. They're not single-like, but they're often the songs that I find myself going back to again and again because they wrap things up so beautifully. Or some of them do, and this one certainly is a good closer. Folks, we made it. 11 tracks, a new album. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I think I'll get to my thoughts in a second. I'll preface this by saying that I'm pretty far from being a Linkin Park mega fan. I don't know their other albums. Really, I never owned an album. I knew the singles. I like the singles. It's hard for me to compare it, and I don't know their eras like the fans do and what comes when and all that. So I'm just going to judge it on its own from my knowledge of music and how I feel about it. This is a really strong album, but it's not, at a first listen, at least, it's not like a concept album or anything like that. It's a collection of songs. There's only 11 songs, and they worked on it for a long time, so it's heavily edited, right? So they probably sifted through a lot of songs before landing on these 11 as the songs that they're going to release as the album. And as part of that, there is not a lot of fluff, and the production is top notch, as you would expect. And the song quality is also top notch, as you would expect. The songs also, they're all super short. Not one song goes over 4 minutes. So everything is edited to the T here. And that to me is actually the fault of the album a little bit, because it does feel like it's hiding something, right? There's so much editing going on that I wish we got to see a little bit more of the dirty stuff and the loose ends, and maybe some throwaway songs that reveal some other things, right? This album, as an album, is just a short collection of some really, really good songs. Now, my hope is, look, it's good. It's going to sell really good, and it's got just a bunch of awesome songs that are rockers that are it's gonna do well on the radio, probably. It's great, but it's a little bit also all over the place tonally. Some places sounds really like old Linkin Park. Some places are very new and cohere together so well. Like almost the first singles would almost be like a perfect EP. And when you expand it to 11 songs, it doesn't cohere quite the same way. So great collection of singles, a intriguing collaboration. I think Emily is a really talented person. To think where we started from and all the controversy and how that just blew away, and they handled that really well. Like, it doesn't matter. She's a collaborator and she brings something fresh and new, and she's able to carry some of the old stuff. And Mike is at his peak. He's definitely reinvigorated. I like it the most when he's reinventing himself a little bit in that final track. The rapping and track 7, I think that trippy one words, like different tempos and rhythms and stuff. And over each other, where it's like more just Emily finding her voice and not necessarily trying to be like Chester. Those are the most exciting things to me. And yet I know at the end of the day, it's still Linkin Park because it's so hooky, because the melodies are so easy to remember, because the choruses, the catchphrases, the concepts behind the songs are so clear. Linkin Park they don't veil themselves in metaphor. They just tell it as it is. Sometimes it's a little embarrassing because it's too simplistic and on the face, but you immediately get the song. You immediately get to empathize with where you're coming from, and you're getting it now from a new perspective with Emily. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you enjoy this new album. I'd love to hear what you think about it. What are your favorite tracks on it? Why? Thank you for my new subscribers. It's exciting. This channel is growing. Please subscribe, message. It's all about interaction. Love to talk with you guys. And I'll see you next week.